Okay, so here's a brief screen recording about Log My Care, and I want to do in this session about how much we're asking you to put in on the recordings on a daily basis. At the moment, we're finding that recording is not sufficient in some areas. Some people have really got it, some haven't yet managed to acquire everything that they need to know about how to record most effectively to comply with CQC. So I'm just going to show you that briefly on this recording. So I've come on to Log My Care, I've logged in and I've gone to Demo Resident. And Demo Resident, you can see, is going to have in a minute something to, let's say that's something to drink. So like many of you do, you might put snack. And as you know, we could put in, for example, they had a medium-sized snack. Now, what am I going to put about that? So I'm going to put D for demo, has eaten a large banana. I made certain it was mashed in accordance with his SLT, SALT, that would stand for swallowing assessment. So apart from my spelling mistake there, which I won't correct right now, you can see what I've done there. I've just put a bit of detail in. Now I want to take a photograph of my banana there, so there's any other additional comments. So he had a large banana. I have referred, I'm going to put, please refer to the care plan when preparing food. Food for D, because of his risk of choking. Now, that's taken us, 2 minutes to do, and I personally would add the photograph on there. Now, I'm not going to do that, as you can see, because if I do, we'll be taking a blank picture. And I'd also make sure that if I was writing more about that, say, for example, D had begun to choke or begun to spit food out, I'd flag that over the handover. Then I'd save the log. Now, you can't see me do that because that'll keep the log in. Actually, I can because we're on a demo. So let's say we've saved our log there. Now, we're going to go along again, and I'm going to make another quick log. And this time, I'm going to say that we've done some personal care. So we've gone for, let's say he was getting dressed. So, was he dressed or undressed? Again, takes a couple of seconds. He was undressed. So, did he consent or refuse? And I'm going to say he consented. But what did we do? Did he require assistance? I'm going to say yes, because I helped D, or you could say I supported D to get dressed this morning. Now, you can just put tick and it's done, or you can put a little bit more in there. You could say I gave him the choice of underwear and socks, and then we chose a shirt from 3 choices, let's say. Choices which I took out of the wardrobe and showed to D. He smiled when I took out the check shirt. Okay, So I'm showing you there just how you might try and show that you've included the person. You could add, if you want to, I did the same for his trousers and he chose brown CR. Now, you'll have to excuse any spelling mistakes here, and I'm not expecting it to be perfect here. But the point is, now we've got a bit of information about what we've done. So he's got brown trousers on, he's got a check shirt on, and before we went out, I showed D a selection of footwear, shoes and slippers. You could say both shoes and slippers. He chose his shoes, his brown shoes. Now, again, you can add a photograph of that if you want. You could put the clothes ready on the bed and you could take a photograph, and then you could always use that photograph next time to show the person, would they like this, this, this or this. So we could save that, and again, if there was something about those clothes, so for example, it's really cold out today and we have chosen a black jacket to go over the top, then you might flag for handover so that everybody else on that shift knows. Now the point is of that, you're showing the choices you've made, but you're also showing the people on the next handover how you're preparing and what the choices you need to make. If I'd said there, D will point, or D will gurgle, or D will rock back and forwards, or whatever it was, when you get the choice right, and please look at his communication passport, then we could add all of that into that log, and before we save the log. Okay. So you see that from that point of view, it's not difficult to be able to do these logs. Now, we've also seen that it only takes minutes to do them, even though there's quite a lot, but a little bit of details in there. So let's just try one more at random. So repositioning. So we want D wants to be repositioned onto his from his bed, and he wants to go to his chair. So now we've got quite a lot of, we don't need that comment in there again today, but we are gonna, so we can take that comment out of that one. Now this is quite an important log because it's only because normally, because I haven't saved it, normally that would be vanished. So let's go back to where we would be. So I supported D to go from his bed to his chair. 2 staff followed the care plan and hoisted D using the portable, I'm going to call it Mackworth because that's what we've got, one of those. Mackworth hoist. Now, I would say on this one, please read the care plan and risk assessment. That's just to cover yourself for safe hoisting. Okay, safe. Now, I've left the mistakes in as I'm going here on this demo so that you can see it really doesn't take long, even if I get odd bits wrong. So the risk assessment spelt wrong, but we could go back and tidy that up later. But the point is, please read the care plan, risk assessment for safe hoisting, and ensure that you test the hoist before lifting to avoid pinching or bruising of the skin of D's skin. All right, so there we are. And that's a really simple log, but you've got a bit more detail that helps the next person. Now, if you had a photograph of the sling or whatever it was, if you needed to, but if, for example, D had a bruise or that you'd logged already, but you wanted to make sure, you might flag that now for handover, because you want to make sure that you don't overly continue to put pressure on that bruise. And I'm going to put one more comment. D's skin bruises easily. Please ensure you use the palms of your hands and not fingertips. Whoops. So I'm now going to put flag for handover done. I'm going to save that log. So there's that again. Okay, one last thing to say on our quick demo here. If we go to to-dos now, so for example, I'm going to use one that won't matter to you. So we've got management audits. Now, to-dos, as you can see, have got that mark done, and you can just go, whatever the risk is. Let's just try one, because this is a closed training session. If we went for, let's say for Betty there. So there is an end of shift out. Let's have a little look here. Let's go down. You'll find a lot of these are all about trying to find different management audits. I was trying to find one for you that would give you the risk built in, but I'm going to go there. So on the top there, you've got a piece of text which you should read. It tells you what's being looked for in the to-do, and it's telling that I'm going to look through outstanding achievements and see if there has been any success, any major things that we've done where we've really gone beyond, above and beyond. So just let's say I'm going to add a demo one here. This week, D has had support from, just let's say, A, B, C, D and E, F. He has responded really positively and has started to do some independent supported travel with them on the bus. This has been documented in his daily logs and forms the basis of outstanding work. Outstanding progress. So you can see there again, it doesn't have to be a massively long log, but at least it's telling you something. The point I'm going to say when I finish this now, and let's just say let's mark that done, is that when you work with this on quick logs and to-dos and daily handover logs, if you have the whole of the log at the end of a week, you'll see that it is quite impressive. And for one person recently, we were able to print off 20 pages of logs for a month, and that gives a lot of information. But just add that bit of detail. This has taken me about 7-8 minutes now, but we've got a lot covered in there, and we've had 3 logs down. We need to do this because it's a legal record of what we do, and this might just help you have a bit more detail. If you have any more that you would like to do, and I'm going to write this down on here. So let me give you a log page. Outside of fact, I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to say to you handover. So general handover. So I'm going to say if you would like further support with recording, please contact David Chadwick on and my final comment to you is thank you for okay, save log. There we are, and thank you for watching, and keep letting the logs